My dear students, today I have seen the meaning of shares. Share is an expression of priority relationship between a shareholder and the company. But share in the company is distinguished by its proprietors numbers. Meaning of shares. First, we have understand what is the share of stock. A share represents a unit of ownership of the issuing company. There are various factors that may influence which way its price moves. When a company performs well and grow, its stock price tend to go up. In such case, if you are a shareholder, you can sell some of the company stocks at a profit. Now we see the types of shares. Equity shares first. Equity shares are also referred to as ordinary shares. They are one of the most common kinds of shares. These stocks are documents that give an investor ownership rights of the company. Equity shareholders bear a high stake risk. Owners of these shares have the right to vote of various company matters. Equity shares are also transferable and the dividend paid a proportion of profit. One thing to note, equity shareholders are not initiated to a fixed dividend. The liability of an equity shareholder is limited to an amount of their invest. However, there are no preferential rights in holding. Equity shares are classified as per the types of shares capital. Authorized capital. Authorized share capital, this is the maximum amount of capital company can issue. It can be increased from the time to time, but for this a company need to confirm from some formalities and also pay required fees and legal entries. Second, issued share capital, this is the portion of authorized capital which a company offers to its investors. Third, subscribed share capital. This refers to the portion of issued capital upon which investor accept and agree. Next, paid up capital. This refers to portion of the subscribed capital for which the investors pay. Since most companies accept the entire subscription amount at one go, issued, subscribed and paid up are the same things. Next, preference shares. Second types of share, preference shares. In our discussion on what are the types of shares, we will look at preference shares. When a company is liquidated, the shareholders who have hold preference shares are paid off first. They also have the right to receive profit of the company before the ordinary shares. Next type of shares, cumulative and non-cumulative preference shares. In this case of cumulative preference shares, when the company does not declare dividend for a particular years, it is carried forward accumulated. When the company make a profit in the future, these accumulated dividend are paid first. In case of non-cumulative preference shares, dividend do not get accumulated, which means when they are not future profit, no dividend are paid. Next type of share, participating and non-participating preference shares. Participating shareholders have to right to participate in the remaining profit after the dividend has been paid out of equity shareholder. So in any years where the company has made more profit, these shareholders are initiated to get the dividend over the above. The fixed dividend holders of non-participating preference shares do not have a right to participate in the profit after the equity shareholders have been paid. So in case a company make any surplus profit, they will not get any additional dividend. They will only receive their fixed shares of dividend every year. Next type of shares, convertible and non-convertible preference shares. Here the shareholder have no options or right to convert these shares into the ordinary equity shares. For these specific terms and conditions need to be met. Non-convertible preference shares do not have a right to be converted into equity shares. Next types of shares, redeemable and irredeemable preference share. Redeemable preference shares can be a claim for repurchase by the issuing company. This can happen at a predetermined price and at predetermined time. These do have not a maturity date, which means these types of shares are perpetual, so companies are not bound to pay any amount after fixed period. There are a few other types of shares. Right shares. There are the kinds of shares a company issues to its existing investors. Such stocks are issued to protect the ownership rights of existing shareholder. Bonus shares. Sometimes company may issue shares their shareholders as a dividend. Such stocks are called bonus shares. And next, and last, equity shares. Sweet equity shares, when employees or directors perform their role especially well, sweet equity shares are issued to reward them. Thank you very much, my dear friends.